Previously on Work of Art.
Not what I was expecting.
This is awesome. The Children's Museum.
We want to find out more about how you realized you were an artist.
Yeah, the pencil. I'm really digging that.
Mother.
I am slightly unimpressed, so you better get your act together.
Oh, shoot.
Let's see how you did.
This is frustration, being a child and an artist.
I was remembering stuff, and I started crying.
I'm not getting anything from Abdi at all.
Peregrine, you made a true work of art.
I don't often see a work of art that I wish I had made myself.
Ryan, your work of art didn't work for us. It's time for you to go. At stake for the winner, a solo show at the world-famous Brooklyn Museum, and $100,000 provided by Prismacolor Art Uninhibited. This is Work of Art, the next great artist.
I wake up in the morning, I'm all alone. Ryan didn't make the cut. Having lost all 3 of my roommates, it's a little disheartening, but it's another day, a new challenge, and whatever happens, I've got to do my best and I've got to do well.
So proud of you for winning. Yay, now you've all won.
I'm about to make some ridiculous, awesome, kick-butt artwork. The last challenge was rough. Oh, my God. I haven't felt good about a piece that I've done since the shock challenge, which I won. But I feel like I have the talent to win this competition, so anything short of winning it scares me, for real.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Only 2 more challenges to determine who will be going to the finale.
Wow. I can't believe we've made it so far. With 2 more challenges left, I am so dead set on winning the whole thing.
It has been said that opposites attract. Art has a rich history of exposing the dualities in life. For your next challenge, we will find out if that's really true. You will be working in teams to create pieces with opposing themes.
Holy The last group project I did was such a disaster, so I hope this challenge will be very different.
To find out who you'll be working with, as well as your theme, you will be picking paint tubes. Peregrine, since you won last week, why don't you go first?
Heaven and hell.
Abdi, step right up.
Order, chaos.
Good one. That's a fun one.
Everybody else was like, oh, man, order and chaos. That's so awesome. I was like, psh, Traja.
Male, female.
Jackie got male and female, which is perfect for Jackie. I'm assuming she's going to do something in some form of being undressed, but once you've seen him, big deal.
Order and chaos.
Oh, damn it. Damn it. I really wanted to be paired up with Nicole. Male, female.
Aw, hey.
All right, Mark, you will be doing Heaven and Hell. Abdi and Nicole, you've got Order and Chaos. Jacqueline and Miles, you've got male and female. For this challenge, you and your partner will be deciding who will be taking on each word.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Both of your pieces must work together to create one cohesive story. One team will win this challenge, but only one artist will be going home.
You have 30 minutes to plan with your partners. Then you will be given $100 to go to Utrecht Art Supplies, plus $200 to go to any hardware store. Now, let me tell you, at this stage of the competition, there is simply no point for any of you to hold back. I want us to be blown away.
Well, you heard the man. Good luck. We'll see you tomorrow.
There's so many options.
Oh my God.
It's insane.
This is crazy.
They're almost the same.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking how similar they are.
Yeah,
like,
they are.
How things that we think are ordered.
It come out of
really-
chaos.
yeah.
Whenever I think of chaos, I think of like explosions.
Yeah, I was thinking of explosions too. I was
Yeah.
thinking of like Big Bang or whatnot?
Yeah, I was thinking the Big Bang. I would almost go order.
You would like order?
We really need a theme to bind it together, to make our separate pieces into a cohesive story.
So like what I would want to do is like maybe playing on the screwdriver or something that like when you press it, it like opens its mouth or like does something where it's like adding a machine element into it.
I like that. I like the machine. Nicole has her idea. She's running with it. I'm left clueless. I have no idea what I'm going to do to make this collaboration work. Ours is hard. It's hard.
If I do something of a man losing control, will you do something of a woman gaining it?
Sure.
I'm pretty excited to work with Jackie because I feel like, given her past art pieces, she might come up with something pretty saucy. So the thing that I want to do is I want to build and construct a domestic wall, insulation, sheetrock, and then I'm going to punch it and then just have this one mark in the wall where I've hit it as hard as I can.
I think I want to do a painting.
Okay. I think that'll work perfectly.
I think I want it to be aggressive.
Okay.
I'm really excited to be paired with Miles because he's such a good technician. My only concern is I know he can easily convince people to follow along with his idea. So I'm definitely going to make sure that this is a combination of both of our ideas.
What if on your wall there was like a large mirror that would, and my painting was across from yours, and it reflected into that mirror, so when you stood at a certain spot, it showed up on your piece?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
For me, hell is about torture, restraint, darkness, isolation, essentially.
Born and raised Catholic and 12 years at Catholic school, heaven and hell are very meaningful to me.
Heaven is ultimate like brightness and freedom and lightness. And, you know, I definitely have images in my head for both.
Mark is really interested in something like lightness for heaven and darkness for hell. I'm more interested in something that would be more subtle.
I think where we might bump into trouble is if we do something really literal.
I have a better sense of conceptual art than Mark does, and I believe that I can elevate his work and still stick to my work.
But you haven't given me anything that you would do. So just tell me what you would want to do. Like you personally.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm just talking to you.
No, I know, but you know, it's good to, like, you know, with a limited amount of time, we have to start.
Peregrine is a little defensive, which is not a good thing when you're just starting a group challenge.
What are some images that you're thinking of doing?
Basically just someone jumping into the air and have this ray of God kind of thing going on.
Right.
I don't know how comfortable you'd be nude. I mean, especially even from behind.
If you feel that I have to be in a state of undress to do it,
You don't have to say yes. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's what you're comfortable with. I compromise much more than you think I do. So, again, like, I'm really open.
What about your scar?
Okay, and I have a condition called diverticulitis, and when I was 18 years old, I wasn't treating it, so my stomach exploded, and I had to have emergency surgery, 24 hours left to live, blah, blah, blah.
I have no passion about my scar whatsoever.
I really think it would be a really intelligent move for you to document yourself.
She wants to make it this torturous story of hell when me, as the person who went through it, didn't see it as so.
I mean, I would be more interested in doing 2 portraits of you, like do a really incredible drawing of you, and then you do a really interesting photographic portrait of yourself.
If you want me to be the subject, I'll be the subject.
Okay, great.
Then I would prefer to do heaven in that regard.
Awesome.
Feel better now?
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
What are your 2x4s now?
8 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot, or 16.
8.
Let's get 2 of these. So we need another one of these. So I'm making your intestines.
I still don't see how my gastrointestinal problems factor into heaven and hell, but cool.
Can I get some of these ripped in half? All right, so this is clear right here. Is this nice pine or is this the nicer pine? I have a lot that I want to get. I'm buying masonite, I'm buying like poplar, because I want to build my own canvas. I don't know yet what I'm going to do for this piece to bring justice to chaos. It's going to be chaos. I just hope it's good chaos.
Hey.
I think this is a sense of control and a system, social constraints that are put on people.
At Utrecht, I decided to depict a social order based off of predetermined rules.
And I'm just trying to think of what I should represent to gain control that's still feminine, you know?
Do you want to go personal on this?
Yeah.
Frankly, with this piece, I was really just considering how I could get Jackie to add nudity to her painting, and I think I figured it out.
You have a great sense of your body. Why not do something that's body-based? Because I'm going outward.
Right.
So if you went inward on something.
I'm confused though on how I would gain control. That's the hard thing.
Well, I think all those things that you do are levels of gaining control.
That's just underhandedly genius.
I think you naked with something in front of your face and then having that play of it being stretched out in front of the mirror is lovely.
I think so.
Win-win.
Coming up on Work of Art.
I'm not exactly comfortable with taking my shirt off for a self-portrait.
Can you tell me what you're doing on this work?
It's a private, sexual act.
For the group challenge, we are going to make work about opposing themes. Mark and I have an off. Mark will make a photograph of himself, and I will make a drawing from his photograph.
Because I didn't want to do anything with the scar, but I was totally going to compromise with you and take a full, just topless photo of myself.
So will you do that for me?
Yeah.
And then I'll reference that when I'm drawing.
Okay.
It's just important for me to get that image of you from you.
It's no secret that I'm, a big guy. I'm not exactly comfortable with taking my shirt off for a self-portrait, and yet I respect Peregrine as an artist. So I'm trusting her vision. I'm trying to be a team player and go along for the ride, but I'm definitely not comfortable.
My part of this collaboration is order. I took the route of doing a social order and making a machine. It starts with a crank, which triggers another wheel to spin, which moves the mouth up and down of the head. I'm referencing terms which we unconsciously live by, like get engaged, get married, suck up to boss. When I grew up, I'd get school projects, and my dad and I would go to the shop and show me how to do it. So there's definitely a certain level of craft that has run through my veins.
Perfect. You okay?
I'm just struggling. It's rough when you just don't know what you want to make art about. So I start working on this chaotic, amorphous shape sculpture. I'm really just praying that I get some inspiration.
We just need an element of you being anonymous in there and controlling your anonymity.
Anonymity. Yeah.
Because that's an issue of control.
I figured that she should probably do something about masturbating because it's like no way that a female can attempt to gain control.
Even with the masturbation thing, it's like we need to ride that thing between tame and then that like over the top, oh my God, I get what you're doing. I love that.
I think it's nice. So.
Yeah, very subtle. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Well, not like that.
I just overheard them talking about taking photos of Jackie masturbating.
Okay.
I'll make sure.
Thanks for your help, Miles.
Yeah. Have fun.
Bye.
She's falling back on her old cliches of using herself as this idealized female form.
I'm pretty open, but in some ways I am a very private person, and right now I don't want people looking at my work.
Why are you stressed out about people seeing you naked in the studio as you're working on it when you're going to be displaying it in a gallery?
I'm gonna paint and kill it. And it's gonna be awesome and provocative in many ways.
In my childhood, I would do this weird thing where I would hit my hip really hard or hit the back of my neck really hard. It's something that was always really curious to me as I got older, that I would participate in this like aggressive act against myself. I just kind of wanted to examine that whole masculine loss of control.
When Mark brings down the rolled image of him standing shirtless on the roof, I realized that I don't have time to do a drawing. So it would be much smarter to react directly to the photograph than try and reinvent it with another material.
So I cut the whole thing down, and that's why I cut my thumb.
Oh, geez.
And it hurts really badly. So if I seem terse, it's because my thumb is.
It's totally okay.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to really fill this out, like all this area with garments. The bigger ones and the smaller ones.
Okay. I'm still uncomfortable seeing my image large with my shirt off, but right now I just need to get along and try to do the best work I can.
I mean, I hate that blue, to be honest.
Okay.
But I think that if there's like, you have like an image of clouds where you can just sort of drop yourself in.
If I walked out my front door and took a photo, the sky would look exactly like that.
No, it's your aesthetic, whatever you want to do.
No, I know, but I'm open to your opinion. That's why I'm saying that. If you think it works.
We can.
So you have that.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck I'm doing on it though.
Abdi is having difficulty with coming up with a concept, so I throw out a lot of ideas. When you're in the order, you feel fine, but there's this outside entity that's breathing new life into something. You know, like the supernova, like this explosion, but it's this beautiful explosion where it's like, it creates a new life, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm still just completely confused.
it's like an energy that can't be contained, or what is it, the allegory of the cave? So it's like that order of where you're in a specific situation and that's your life, but you don't know until someone kind of grabs you and pulls you out of it.
I like that.
Okay.
All right, now I feel like I know what I'm doing, and I've already created this weird cave-like structure. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna start a painting of this and make this beautiful, bold, weird, wonky exterior of Socrates' cave.
Hello, everyone. I'm dying to see how you're getting on with this challenge. We'll start with Miles and Jacqueline.
Hi.
Tell me how you're getting on.
We both got male and female, and we just decided to address the aspect of control and like gaining or losing it. So what I'm doing is building a series of walls that will be like really finished and really nice, but then I'm gonna come up to him and then hit him as hard as I can and create these imperfections in the wall. You know, losing control of like emotional ability to express his frustrations.
And then I have this painting that I'm gonna do, and it will be in a corner. And what will happen is when you're standing at a certain point, you'll see this image distorted in this mirror.
And can you tell me what you're doing on this work?
It's a private, you know, sexual act.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You know, it's striking in every possible way, but graphically as well.
Simone seems really curious about Jackie's piece, and I'm like, yeah, cool.
It's a pleasure to see you as ever, and I really look forward to seeing the finished product tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks
you,
so much.
Thank you.
After Simone leaves, I'm feeling self-conscious, but I genuinely feel what I'm doing will enhance the piece. I'd like to push it as far as I can.
Hello, Nicole and Abdi. How are you doing?
Good. Just pushing through. We're actually touching upon like social order and social chaos. So this actually is a crank which will spin, and it actually pumps a pummel right here, which opens and closes a mouth. And then at the same time, it's running this with different thoughts on it through these runners and out of the brain.
You mean the control being outside of ourselves or inside ourselves?
Because within a system, there's an upper hand that's controlling.
So this is going to be the upper hand that controls it all. It's an interactive work, which means everyone will be able to turn the handle and all that. And Abdi, can you explain to me how you're dealing with chaos?
We feel like Socrates' allegory of the cave is kind of guiding both of these. I've constructed this cave-like world. I'm still kind of not sure how it's gonna finally manifest itself, but that's the beginning of the piece.
And so you're painting on it, or you're creating a sculpture?
No, I'm painting.
How you're going to translate this on a flat surface is going to be really, really interesting. It's, you know, it's difficult to judge at this stage. I hope you will be able to do something so that when you look at the work, you instantly think, oh my God, chaos and order.
I'm just gonna attack it and just keep going, so.
Go for it. Thank you.
It's like the past few assignments, Simone's kind of just been looking at me like, what are you doing? It's good that he's a mentor that's not gonna sugarcoat anything, but I wanna make some work that he likes, for real.
What theme are you both covering?
Heaven and hell.
We each have separate images. Mine's photographic. It will be an actual photo print, and they will be displayed as banners together side by side.
Then what are these buttons, or it's difficult to see what it
They're
is.
grommets. Mark told me a story about being really sick when we first met and his stomach exploding.
So you want to convey his inner hell due to his physical suffering?
Yes.
My question here is, how much does it really convey a feeling of hell? That is the question. Do you think the judges might find Mark's version a little too literal?
We have a lot of work to do.
You have plenty of work to do.
Thanks, Simone.
Great to see you both.
See you soon. As I feared, Mark's image is far too simple. I just feel like this is an opportunity for Mark to really use Photoshop and do something amazing.
Use the pain, use the suffering.
Yeah, to make some hell. I just don't want to go home on this piece.
Coming up on Work of Art.
It's starting to look like weird voodoo.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why, in the second to last challenge, would I even think to do this piece?
The challenge is to depict opposing themes. Ours is order versus chaos.
If yours freaking works, and you have the string going through, it's gold.
The rubber band kept slipping, so I'm gonna putty the hell out of that.
I feel like if Nicola's piece works, it'll be good, but I am not helping her out on this team challenge at all. I've made it this far. I really need some focus right now.
Dude, I think if you stick to the jagged edges,
Yeah, I like
you'll be
those,
good.
yeah.
Like right up in here, it's so good. Your colors are fantastic, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, looks really good.
Thank you.
Abdi's painting, it feels stuck in between figuration and abstraction. I think my work has a beautiful simplicity, a beautiful pose. The central composition and frontal composition make me seem like an idol almost.
It's starting to look like weird voodoo.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Peregrine and I are getting along as best we can. I definitely think that people could see me as being a bit of a patsy and a bit of a sucker on this challenge just because I'm doing so much for Peregrine. But at the end of the day, I think my piece is going to be a little more focused.
Never realized I'd be showing my nipple so large in a gallery.
Hey, Jackie, the thing that I'm worried about with the mirror is that it's not going to be prominent enough. This is what I was thinking. I've been lusting over Ryan's tar. Lusting over it. I'm going to build my entire wall just like I would, and then I'm going to coat the entire thing in tar, okay? Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that, like, sheen to it, that really gross texture, make it really shiny, everything like that. I've wanted to use Ryan's tar since he bought it. I was like, oh, you got tar, that's so cool. And then I kind of told him how hard it was to work with, purposefully, so that he didn't use all of it, so that I could use it later.
Tomorrow, I just have to adhere everything down to the surface, both the pulleys, the face, and the pommel.
Hey, 5 minutes!
I really like living with Abdi. He's just super positive, but Mark is moving in tonight. And I don't know how he's gonna fit into the apartment. I don't know, Mark just seems separate sometimes from the group.
Welcome, my man. Dang, you got a lot of stuff. I hope Mark realizes that he has a friend in me, at least. I feel like he feels a little ostracized.
All right, cool. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Ooh, nice.
Welcome to hell.
Hey, it's me. I call my husband in the morning because I'm feeling sort of freaked out. It's like only a couple more times that I get a chance to do this, and I just don't want to go home. It's just going to crush me if this is the piece that I go home on. So I love you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Marky Mark, how's it going?
It's going, man. I feel not rested at all. I got about 3 hours sleep. Miles is his usual distant, moody self with me, and I seem to reciprocate that pretty well.
I struggled yesterday, but I feel like I've come up with something that I'm confident about. I want to be viewed as someone who's serious about my work, who's serious about getting better. Do it.
I've never been more excited to get to the studio because I get to see how the acrylic resin reacted to the tar.
The whole concept was that mine would reflect into his. It was supposed to be done by Miles incorporating a mirror, but with the tar, I just don't see it. I'm extremely skeptical of last-minute decisions. I've come too far to go out with some kind of mistake.
That looks so good, Jackie.
Yeah, give me another hour and it's gonna like pop crazy.
Abdi.
Oh, it's perfect.
Work it. Get it on, get it on. I'm getting really into the process of making the piece opposite of Mark's, trying to push my own envelope, and I decide I really need cigarettes to fill the grommeted holes. Thanks, dude. This sounds like still smoking. I have black soot all over my face. I probably look like a crazy homeless person. Yeah.
Hargren's got a bunch of stuff and a bunch of holes punched through my image. She's starting to draw over my face and add paint and glitter. It's ridiculous.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Good morning, artists.
Good morning.
Morning.
You have exactly 30 minutes to complete your work, so put on your finishing touches.
So the screws go in through here?
Yeah, there'll be a 9-inch gap.
Lovely.
I suggest that Miles build a structure that would hold my piece and there would be a connection in the structure and color of that framing element.
I wanted it turned the other way. Can we do that?
No.
No. Okay.
You could just hold this.
Got it.
I am definitely one of the people that are racing to the finish. I think that everybody's really nervous about this challenge. We're all exhausted. We really pushed it for this one.
Hey, 5 minutes!
You're good.
Artists, your time is up. So can I ask you all to leave your work as is and follow me to go to the show?
I take a step back, look at my piece, and I've never done anything like this. Why, in the second to last challenge in this competition, would I even think to do this piece?
Coming up on Work of Art.
Essentially, my stomach exploded and I had 24 hours left to live.
Can we see your scar? It doesn't look like there was a meeting of the minds.
I'm beginning not to trust your vision itself.
Talking about art kind of stretches your bullshitting capabilities.
Art in and of itself must transcend that.
Cerebralism.
My creative identity.
The venue, the forum, the space.
Voyeuristic tendencies,
Explorative.
Icon or signifier.
creating a panopticon,
To kind of juxtapose.
Projected self-image.
superficial elements,
Tactility.
Planned obsolescence.
moral ambiguity.
Ephemeral moment.
Tonal variations of the same hue.
This is specifically what I'm talking about.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Please welcome back your judges. Critic Jerry Saltz.
Hi.
Gallery owner Bill Powers.
Hey, guys.
Jeannie is away this week curating a show in Europe. And your guest judge for this challenge, art world sensation Ryan McGinnis.
Hey, guys.
I love Ryan McGinnis. I think he is one of the most brilliant artists who seems like he has a ton of fun. I adore your blacklight installations.
Duly noted.
Your challenge was to work together while exploring opposing themes and tell one cohesive story. One team will win, and one artist will be leaving us tonight. Let's open the gallery and see how you did.
are some really awesome guests at the gallery show.
So what do you think? Are you impressed?
I am impressed.
One of them being Terrence Coe, who is a favorite of mine.
The idea that Jackie and I had for our installation is really good. It's easily my favorite piece that I've done on the show. Even though I talked Jackie into it, I'm blown away that she had the guts to do it.
Well, it's revealing itself more and more.
Yeah, and this almost seems male in that you go blam, and it's out there.
Yep.
I'm actually really proud of my piece. It was probably the single most challenging, vulnerable piece I've ever made.
I wasn't crazy about Jacqueline's painting, just didn't do anything. She said she hated my painting. Well, they have their intentions.
Usually you don't touch art.
I'm like, I like people touching
But that's
it.
great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different.
My part of this collaboration is order. There's a certain level of craft in my work, and I think that people will really be impressed by actually working a machine.
Hold on.
Okay, you're retired. This is order?
This is order.
They kind of both look like chaos a little bit, right? So he did the chaos of, is it a cactus, it's a rock, it's an abstraction.
I'm feeling a little better, and the way Nicole's piece is placed in front of mine, it feels good, it feels decent.
This is not at all what I would expect from chaos and order. I'm guessing hell is the cigarettes put out on your chest?
And Mark's is heaven.
I feel much more confident when I see both of our pieces together. I made mine light, airy, and minimalist. I figured heaven would be coming from an inner glow, and that's why I wanted the light to shine out of my scar.
And they work well together.
Yeah, somebody got their bedazzler out on that one, right?
When I see my piece in the gallery, it feels a little bit too soft on his side and a little bit too aggressive on my side, but I'm proud of the piece that I did.
Nice to meet you.
We have a lot of questions about your work and would like to talk to all of you for the crit. Mark and Peregrine, let's start with your pieces.
We both started off with photographs that Mark took of himself. He has a scar in the middle of his body that really scared me when I first saw it, and he said, I'm really at peace with the scar.
When I was 18, I had a condition that I was unaware of, and so I wasn't treating it, and essentially my stomach exploded, and I had 24 hours left to live.
Can we see your scar?
Sure. Well, it's a part of it anyways. So yeah, it's healed so much that I don't even think about it, and I've seen people, cringe when they see it, but wanting to be a good teammate, I wanted to go along with her idea.
I don't want to overlook how important and huge a step it really was for you to make autobiographical work and address this scar. On the other hand, this is a very literal and blunt interpretation.
Yeah. Yeah, for a theme as big as heaven and hell, I expected more out of this.
And what I would say, it's neither heaven nor hell, but it's more like limbo. And that could be a growing problem for me.
Now, do you feel that you both had to compromise in a way?
I definitely gave myself to her idea of the subject.
Peregrine, you look uncomfortable. Do you have something you want to say?
It was hard. He really could have given me more to work with.
I didn't want to tell my story, but she did sway me to take 2 images of myself like this, which I kind of had a hard time with.
Artists, do you guys have anything to say?
Yeah, and this is my problem with your work, is that you play it safe. And the thing that I like about Peregrine's piece is she took her materials and came to your side. And it seems like you just yeah, here I am.
Artists? No? Okay. Thank you. Let's move on. All right, Miles and Jacqueline, what was your approach to male and female?
We decided to address the aspect of control in our work, so I chose to make a piece about masculine form of losing control, and she chose to make a piece about a feminine aspect of gaining control.
What does it reveal about female control?
Learning to accept your body and take control of your own desires.
So what act are you performing in this painting?
It's a sexual act.
So you were masturbating?
Yeah.
I feel like you have some other issues that you're trying to sort out about how you feel about yourself, but then I think this worked great together. This piece is not literal, and that allows me to contemplate what's going on here.
Miles, can you elaborate a little bit more on your piece that you did?
The thing that I really wanted to represent was freezing this kind of moment in time right after this aggressive act of hitting a wall.
Have you ever put your hand through a wall?
Yeah, I have.
I think it's important for us to ask these questions about how autobiographical these works are. So, Miles, do you punch walls? And you say, yes, you have. Jackie, do you masturbate standing up?
I have, sure.
So it's honest work.
Yeah, it's honest.
Because they're so big and because there are two of them, it doesn't feel like they're a collaboration. I think maybe it looks like you kind of discussed things and superficially tied them together with materials, but it doesn't look like there was a meeting of the minds.
I actually like the male and female thing being separate. I actually got off on that, thinking, yeah, they're in other worlds. We can't get together.
Thank you, Miles. Thank you, Jacqueline. Let's move on. Abdi and Nicole, tell us about chaos and order.
I took order. How I interpreted this was that being part of that machine and existing in these preconditioned terms. Wake up, go to work, get engaged, get married. These things that are set up in our social structure and just the freedoms that we think we have, but it might not be that exact reality.
Real focus came to the project when we started interpreting it through Socrates' allegory of the cave. Once you exit the cave, this black hole in the center, you enter this world of the unknown, of the chaotic.
We're looking at you.
I can make an argument for order. Overall, it kind of comes off as a little rinky-dink. The painting doesn't represent chaos. This is a completely ordered painting.
I'm really having a hard time seeing the correlation between the two of them. Your painting looks like this green coral that's turning into the Incredible Hulk, and I don't really see chaos in it.
I don't like how you handled the cave in this piece. When you explain it, I'm trying to see it, and it's a struggle for me.
I find that the painting is unoriginal, uninspired, and amateurish. I'm beginning not to trust your vision itself.
Can I ask a question? What things would you like to see in the work?
The fact that you're even asking for advice is the wrong approach. You should just be asking yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We need some time to discuss what we just heard. You can head up to the studio until we call you back.
Intense. That was so crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I shouldn't even have painted that.
They put you in the most vulnerable position you've probably been put in artistically, right?
Yeah, definitely.
If there was an answer, the answer is you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay, judges, how do we think the artist did with this challenge?
I like that they had to deal with big ideas, so accidentally their own idea of themselves would start to come through.
Let's start with Heaven and Hell. How do we feel Mark and Peregrine did?
I was disappointed. I felt like it was the most obvious approach.
I think that they both failed in a sense by going for the simple answer to heaven and hell, a sort of a light image and a dark one. Really, that's pretty first level thinking. While both failed, I felt that Mark is showing me a lack of imagination.
I liked that he used himself for the first time. He addressed this issue of his scar, but then again, on the other hand, he just symbolized his scar with, again, kind of a cliche radiating light.
There's more to read into Peregrine's piece, and there's really what you see at first with Mark is all you're gonna get.
Right, but Peregrine's piece is terribly unfinished, underdeveloped. It's got a mess on it. The things that stick out, even she knows, are sort of ridiculous and no good. A lot of times we make mistakes we don't know until after we've made them.
Okay, let's move on to male and female. How do you feel Miles and Jacqueline did with that?
I definitely felt like there was a conversation between Jacqueline and Miles's piece, seeing the scar that's left behind from this action and mark making that Miles talked about. Jacqueline spoke to this idea that she was pleasuring herself, but there was something very tormented or twisted about it that I found intriguing.
These are two very strong pieces. Weak collaboration.
I like Miles' sculpture a lot. It takes a simple, dumb idea and deconstructs it. It kept me looking.
How do we feel Nicole and Abdi did?
I think this was the toughest of the three challenges. Order and chaos. How do you tackle that?
It tackles you.
Yes.
Well, I think that Nicole had some trouble. I think that the thing presents as a toy. It doesn't really work, and I don't think that has anything to do with order.
I liked that it's the only piece that required us to interact with it. It just fell short in its presentation.
So how do we think order worked with chaos?
I don't think there was any chaos in this collaboration. It gave me a sense of order, actually. There's a sense of gravity. There's a horizon. It's, you know, it's a landscape.
Abdi's saying that it was supposed to be the mouth of this cave.
Yeah.
I did not get that at all, even after he explained it.
It doesn't read as anything except maybe a black spot in the painting. And it doesn't take you anywhere, doesn't tell you anything about anything.
So we have a big decision to make. Who are we sending home?
I've got 3 people in trouble tonight in my mind. Deep trouble.
We asked you to clearly communicate 2 opposing themes while telling one cohesive story. We feel that one team succeeded at doing both. Congratulations, Miles and Jacqueline. You made a true work of art.
Thank you for creating work that made me spend time with it.
I'm really glad that they had teams win instead of an individual person, because the piece that we made, we really worked on being cohesive.
Thank you both. You can head up to the studio.
Thank you.
We're thrilled. We worked very hard and we worked well together. I'm just so motivated to keep moving forward, make it to the finale, and win the competition.
Yeah, that feels good.
I'm so happy.
The only rule in art is what works, and none of your pieces did.
Abdi, Nicole, your pieces weren't cohesive. Abdi, we think the failure lies with you. The painting was amateurish, and for chaos, all we got was control.
Mark Peregrine, your version of heaven and hell was obvious. Your piece was safe and uninspired. But Mark, we feel the fault lies with you.
Abdi, Mark, one of you is going home. Mark, your work of art didn't work for us.
Thank you very much for the opportunity that you've given me. It's been a pleasure to meet all of you.
Thank you.
You can all head back to the studio. Good luck, Mark.
Overall, the judges repeated a lot of the same things they've told me before.
So long.
And if I didn't listen and my work failed because of that, that's my fault. I think some of the artists here really respect me.
I have 100% of faith in you. Thanks a lot.
And I think the other half think I'm a no-talent hack. But I'm proud of what I've achieved and how far I've come. And I know that I've grown a lot and I've seen a lot of things that I never would have seen otherwise. This is a great opportunity. So, thanks. That's all I've got.
Next on Work of Art.
So you guys are going out of town.
What? It's the final challenge, so it has to be something good.
This challenge will determine which 3 artists make it to the finale.
Damn it. Tell me if I'm crazy. I want to mix ammonia with bleach, most commonly known as mustard gas.
Does anybody have a condom?
Like I said, I had something I was going to put up, but I messed it up.
Well, I hope you won't talk to the judges like you do to me now.
I'm like freaking out. All of my hard work might just not pan out to anything.
Get ready for the last show before the finale.
To learn more about Work of Art, The Next Great Artist, visit BravoTV.com.
Matches, pretty matches.